Okay, so we've got our posts back installed. We've got all our prep work done on them. Got our top shear blocks attached, our snap pocket top rail cut to length, pitch. Everything's good to go. So now we're ready to do our turnbuckle assemblies. So we're going to take our deck mount, the end that came swagged on your cable from Crystalite, and we're going to mount that on the top. Then we're going to take our actual turnbuckle, we're going to mount that on the bottom. First we're going to take all the hardware out of it, and then we will determine our length, go ahead and cut our cables, and hand swag them on. So we're going to go ahead and mount our deck mount in onto our newel posts. I'm going to use a couple of 3/4 inch screws, number 12s. And we're going to do the same thing on the other end with our turnbuckle with our hardware removed. All right, so we have our hardware both ends connected. So then we're going to run our cable through. And we're going to just run it beside our barrel here and mark it with a Sharpie. And what we're going to do is we're just going to mark it just above the hole in the barrel of the turnbuckle. We'll go ahead and cut that to length. All right, and remember to put your barrel end cap on first before you swag your thing, otherwise you're in trouble. And the barrel lengths, the smaller barrel that goes inside is a little bit longer, and we're going to put that away from the end cap. So we're going to put our small one on flush with the end of our cable, and then we're going to put our big one on, and we're going to put it flush with the top of the small one. And what that does is, you can see there's a little space in there. Well, if that little one crimps and it's at the top, it could theoretically catch up in there. It doesn't happen very often, but so we're just going to flush the top of them and flush the longer one with the bottom of the cable. And then we're going to come in 1/8 of an inch from the end and do a field swag or a hand swag. Go ahead and roll it up, John. Oh, I don't know if I can do it like that, buddy. Okay, so we're 1/8 of an inch from the end. We're going to do one. That's good. And then we're going to rotate it 90 degrees and crimp. All right, so we have 3 crimps on it. We'll insert it back into our turnbuckle. Remember, everything's backwards. So you're going to thread your end cap in there counterclockwise instead of clockwise. And tighten our cable up. Almost anything like that will work. Go ahead and cinch her down, and we have one turnbuckle assembly. Before marking these, do make sure your turnbuckles are extended all the way. And we're going to mark it just above our hole there. We don't want to come down past that hole, because if you have a longer cable, you might have to actually use that hole to tighten your turnbuckle assemblies. Up, roll any loose cables back into it. We're going to flush the smaller one up with the bottom, and we're going to flush the bigger barrel up with the top of the little one. And then we're going to take a crimp. A little more. 1/8 inch from the end. Good. We're going to crimp it once. We're going to roll it 90 degrees, and we're going to crimp it again. There you go. We're going to come 1/8 of an inch up the barrel. We're going to crimp it once. Oop, a little more, John. There we go. Good. Just spin it and crimp. You're going to come up another 1/8 of an inch, leaving 1/8 from the end, and crimp. So insert it into the, and again, counterclockwise with your end cap, and then clockwise with your barrel. More. And then we want to set our set screws right here. And what that does is locks your turnbuckle from being able to loosen back up. It's a 1.5 millimeter. So we've gone ahead and strung all of our turnbuckles and tightened them up. As you can see, they're fairly tight. Set all of our set screws so that they won't loosen on their own. Now that we've completed that, we can actually string our cable based off of that newel post from our newel post around our wrapped corner.